Hi all. Today I want to talk about an issue we're all facing in the asset management industry, which is really the shortage of staff that we're seeing. We've all heard about the great resignation that's happening globally, and we're absolutely feeling that here locally as well. So we have this massive quest for talent that we're all kind of fighting for, but it's not the first time we've seen this in the industry. So back in the early 2000s, the industry would have gone through something similar. And we would have seen staff moving rapidly from one organisation to another, massive wage inflation happening at the time as well. And I suppose no real winners, certainly from an organisational standpoint in the long run. But at this stage, there was the kind of start of some good strategies put in place in order to deal with those challenges. And we're really revisiting those strategies again now and ramping up some of those ideas. So the environment that we're in at the moment, which is this staff shortage plus the massive kind of rapid expansion in the industry, is really creating a bit of a perfect storm around this area. So in terms of numbers and what we're talking about, we have an estimate from 2020 that there's over 17,000 people employed directly in the asset management industry here locally. With predictions of growth over the coming years, we're expecting 22,000 will be employed or needed to be employed in the industry by 2025. So we're going to need to create an extra 1,000 employees into the industry, or attract an extra 1,000 over each year for the coming years. So how are organisations dealing with this, and what are the plans that they have in order to mitigate this and create that need for the future? So I think there's a number of strategies, but again, no silver bullet, and it's going to be a range of different solutions which people will are adopting currently. So number one, we'll see, which has been a tried and tested method, is offshoring. So we've seen really big success with this over the last number of years, with large hubs created in Poland, India, Philippines, Mauritius, to name but a few. But again, that comes with some of its own challenges. Increased oversight by the central bank, we will have seen recently with the guidance on CP 138 around this area. So real careful analysis is required of what is being offshored and what is being kept onshore. So a really good solution, but not a single solution. It needs to be coupled with other strategies. The next area, which is a really big focus for organisations and has been for the last number of years, is automation. So this is the quest, obviously, for doing more with less, and in theory reducing headcount. But while we see automation being really, really effective to reduce manual tasks and repetitive tasks, rather than reducing headcount, we're probably seeing that headcount is then being redeployed to kind of higher value and more quality work. So again, great strategy, but probably won't solve the big problem overall on its own. Another key area, which would have started back in the 2000s when this was a problem with the industry or a challenge with the industry, was the focus on the regions. So building up that expertise outside of Dublin and creating hubs, which we've seen across Limerick, Cork and Kilkenny and Waterford. And that's been really successful, and we'll continue to see that growth. And at the moment, the regions actually represent about 35% of the overall directly employed headcount in asset management. So again, will continue to be an area that opens up a pool of talent that the industry can access. That kind of coupled with the impact of COVID, which has resulted in lots of organisations adopting a hybrid or more remote working, allows organisations to access a wider talent pool as well, so not so Dublin centric, and broadening out the base that they can access, such as people like returners, so people who may have left the industry, wanted to move away from city, but now we can broaden out that base and try and access that as well, which is a great opportunity and great to bring new or returning employees back into the net. Another key area, which is absolutely critical, is building for the future, and it's a kind of grassroots approach, building that talent up. So partnerships with universities, more educational courses, and bringing in graduate programs. So this is again one for the future, won't solve any issues overnight, but really, really important for kind of that homegrown talent as well. And again, what we've seen with the release of the restrictions is an increase in our international and overseas hires coming to Ireland. So again, attracting that talent from overseas will be another key strategy we see organisations adopt over the coming years. So there's going to be those range of solutions, and I'm sure some more innovative ones over the years to come, but that's what organisations we're seeing adopting and will continue to adopt in order to meet the demands for the growth of the future and client needs.